Kegea Bridge. 5 rescued after their vehicle was swept by Nyamaji River in Ruvuma region. And in sports, 3 Tanzanian swimmers to take part in the African Championship to be held in Durban, South Africa. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The government has directed Tanzania People's Defense Force, TPDF, and a team of engineers from Morogoro and Dodoma to step up camp at Magubike village in order to speed up rehabilitation of the bridge at Kegea area in Kilosa district, Morogoro region, so as to allow vehicles to cross the Morogoro-Dodoma road. The directive was given by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa when he toured the area to inspect construction work of the bridge.
Waziri, tafuta town road manager hapa watu. Huyu arudi kwa Mfugale.
Look for town road manager to come and supervise work on the bridge, and the rest must be distributed. As you know, the rain is going on, so every morning you must patrol rivers to check if everything is okay. You have the finances. We cannot allow bridges to be filled with sand, which affects how much water passes through. This is an international route used by at least 4 countries: Tanzania, Rwanda, Congo, Burundi, and even Uganda through Kagera. And all of us are stuck here. I've come to inform you exactly what is going on. As the government, we're looking at the route cause, although rain is to blame, but caravans have a specific size, so we are checking if this could have been caused by an obstruction. In addition, we will move a team from Morogoro and Dodoma to camp here and the People's Defense Force to construct an alternative route.
Tumeagiza mainjinia wote wa mkoa Morogoro ambao wako hapa, lakini tunaongeza timu kutoka Dodoma ihamie hapa. Lakini pia tunaleta jeshi la wananchi, jioni hii wataingia wakati wote kuhakikisha kwamba wanashiriki kutengeneza njia nyingine.
A big number of lorries and some buses have remained stranded along stranded along the Morogoro-Dodoma road after the bridge at Kegea area in Kilosa district, Morogoro region was destroyed by rains. Long queues of the vehicles were witnessed at Kihonda area to Dumila, inconveniencing drivers and passengers.
Some vehicles have hazardous substance. I don't know what will happen in case there is an explosion. There should be better security in place. We've been here since 10 yesterday. We were informed by 9 we should be able to cross. We only had fare to take us home. We did not anticipate this. If we take the long route, we will have to pay more.
Kama tunazunguka wanataka hela. Hatuna la kufanya kwa wakati huu. Tumenyamaza tu.
5 people, employees of coal mining company Tancoal in Mbinga district, Ruvuma region, have been rescued alive after their vehicle was swept by water on the bridge of River Nyamwamaji, located at Rwanda village following heavy rains. Ruvuma Region Commissioner Christina Mdeme visited the scene of incident and said the government is taking measures to rehabilitate the bridge.
Lile jiwe akaenda pala akaligusa lile jiwe.
He hit a stone and couldn't go back, and the level of water kept increasing. But it was okay to walk a short while ago. So when the vehicle got stuck, it filled with water.
Kimsingi watu walikuwa 5.
There were 5 passengers. One was a disabled lady who slipped as he was being rescued.
Tunahakikisha miundombinu hii
tunairudisha katika hali ya kawaida.
We will restore the infrastructure so that production is not affected, but everyone must be cautious, especially during the heavy rain season.
Ya hili ni vema tukachukua tahadhari.
Tanzania Electricity Supply Company TANESCO has assured that despite the ongoing rains in the country, implementation of the Mwalimu Nyerere hydropower project has not been affected. The assurance was given by the Director General of TANESCO, Dr. Tito Munuka, during a tour of permanent secretaries to witness implementation of strategic projects.
Kuna wakati maji yaliingia Sombo sio.
This has not affected the project to construct diversion tunnel because it was ready by a large percentage, and what was remaining was to dig deeper and lay concrete.
Kasi ya utekelezaji ni nzuri.
Implementation is going well. It has been a year since the signing of the contract took place. At initial stage included the construction of the tunnel, which is ready, so the pace is satisfactory.
Lakini pale tutakapokuwa mradi huu umekamilika, tunakuwa na uhakika hata maendeleo yanapokuja viwanda vingine.
Once this project is complete, we will be assured, even when new factories come up, that we have cheap and sufficient electricity which will contribute towards development. And this will protect the environment, because now we will be able to tell people to use electricity as an alternative source of energy, and this will protect the environment. In addition, we will be able to sell to other countries.
Weza kuuza biashara kama nchi nyingine, kama bidhaa nyingine.
Former Speaker of Parliament Annie Makinda has said there is need to make amendments to the system used to get special seat members of Parliament so that it allows them to sit for a certain duration so as to avoid one person holding the position for too long. Former Speaker Annie Makinda made the statement in Dar es Salaam during a meeting attended by various stakeholders to discuss achievements made since the Beijing conference as the country heads towards the climax of International Women's Day held on 8th of March.
You cannot blame them. For those of us still alive, it is not possible that we should be defeated. We must not end by complaining, because we know where the defect lies, then we will find solutions.
Sasa hivi mnasikia jinsi ambavyo watoto wa kike wanaongoza katika 10 bora.
We've seen how female students are leading top positions. This is because they have been created a conducive environment. When we were at school, we had to take care of our siblings, but we managed. However, things are much improved nowadays, and girls perform as well as boys.
Tatizo tusiendelee kulalamika, kusononeka, ni wakati wa kusema hili ni tatizo na litatuaje?
We must not just complain, but rather we should look for solutions and where to get resources. We will make this possible by having more women who understand problems that women in leadership face. In political leadership, there is no such thing as ladies first.
Mchezo ule ilikuwa wanapiga mziki ama mnaimba wimbo, ukisimama harakisha kwenye kiti.
Inspector General of Police Simon Siro has called on Tanzanians not to engage in acts which can lead to a breach of peace in the country, particularly now as the country prepares for the general election. IGP Simon Siro gave the warning in Arusha when laying the foundation stone for construction of offices at FFU Oljoro area.
Kama babu zetu wangekuwa hawako makini na mambo ya usalama, sisi tungekuwa wapi, sio?
They are not serious on security. Where would we be? We will not be here today. Let me assure you, in the government led by President John Magufuli, they don't have a chance. We want a safe Tanzania for our children's development too. Officers must be exemplary and helpful, and a refuge for Tanzanians. We are heading towards a general election. Let it not be the reason for conflict. If any politician breaks the law, then he will be dealt with accordingly.
Tuwe mfano, tuwe msaada, tuwe kimbilio la Watanzania.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next.
The Tanzania Communications Regulatory Authority, TCRA, is calling on all TCRA licensed service providers to participate in the TCRA ICT Awards 2020, which aim to award best service providers in the communications sector. TCRA will award best performers in the following categories: mobile network operators, radio and television, online content service providers, multiplex operators, internet service providers, and postal and courier operators. All TCRA licensees are obliged to participate in this competition for the public to evaluate their performance and commitment. Guidelines for participation can be accessed at www.ictawards.tcra.go.tz. All TCRA licensed service providers should submit participation forms by 15th of March 2020. For more information, please call 080-000-8272. Improve life through ICT for industrial digital economy.
And in international news, the government of Kenya has warned Kenyans from attacking and stigmatizing Chinese nationals living in the country due to the coronavirus threat. This comes after a video showed Kenyan citizens shouting at Chinese nationals claiming they have the coronavirus went viral.
Places like Beijing and Shanghai. So we need to be careful. We also have our people in China. We have over 3,000 Kenyans in China, not to mention the other Africans. What is going to happen if there is a response also on their part? So please, I'm appealing to our people. The African person should be the last person to discriminate against people. Our history, the history of the African person, is one of discrimination and abuse. We are also issuing a very stern warning to those people who are spreading malicious rumors in social media, and to remind them it is a criminal offense punishable by a jail term and a huge fine to pass on information or to SMS information knowing that the information is false, or not knowing that the information is correct.
The remains of more than 7,000 people buried in 8 mass graves near Ruvubu River between Tigeta and Karusi regions in Burundi have been exhumed. The head of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Pierre Claver, has said that information on the remains will be given by the citizens themselves. Good Samaritans have been giving reports of mass graves to authorities, allowing us to find almost 7,348 bodies were found in those mass graves. This government exercise is aiming at helping citizens regardless of their tribes or beliefs. By doing so, let us all maintain our own peace and stability in Burundi for the benefit of all citizens. Chancellor Angela Merkel is visiting the German city of Hanau, where 2 weeks ago 10 people were killed in a far-right extremist terror attack. She is attending a memorial for the victims of the shooting incident, which has happened at a time when the government has been criticized for not taking the threat of right extremism seriously enough. To discuss this we have our correspondent from Deutsche Welle, Kate Brady. Kate, what is the situation like right now in Hanau, 2 weeks after the incident?
Well, of course, investigations into the suspected perpetrator are still underway, and authorities are investigating exactly what links he had to the far-right extremist scene in Germany and how he became radicalized in the first place. But of course, in Hanau itself, people, locals, relatives, friends of those victims are still coming to terms with the shock of the attack 2 weeks ago, and many of them are set to attend the memorial today, which of course, as you mentioned, German Chancellor Angela Merkel will be attending, and also German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier. So this will be a chance for locals today to remember those 9 people who lost their lives 2 weeks ago.
Now, how big is an issue is far-right extremism in Germany?
Well, we have seen a slow but steady rise in far-right extremist violence in recent years. Of course, the shooting in Hanau a couple of weeks ago was actually the 3rd deadly far-right extremist attack within less than a year. Of course, in June last year, we saw the shooting and killing here in Germany of a local politician who spoke openly about his support for refugees. And then, of course, just a few months later in October, we saw the attempted anti-Semitic attack on a synagogue in eastern Germany in which 2 passers-by were killed. And so we have seen, not only in terms of far-right extremist violence, and we've seen an increase there, but we've also seen an increase in far-right rhetoric in recent years as well here in Germany. And that's largely to do with the shift in politics, not only that we've seen here in Germany, but in neighbouring countries as well around Europe, which has been a shift to the right. And so a lot of xenophobic and a lot of racist rhetoric that a few years ago would have still been very much taboo has become much more normalized in recent years here in Germany. And critics have been pointing specifically as well to the far-right AfD party here in Germany for having played a big role in that normalization of far-right rhetoric. So lots of issues for Germany to be tackling here when it comes to dealing with the far-right.
Now, what measures are being taken by the German government to address the problem?
Well, immediately after the attack 2 weeks ago, the Interior Ministry said that a police presence would be increased around Germany, specifically at locations such as mosques, so similar to some measures that are already in place at some synagogues in Germany. Some of those, for example, have 24-hour police surveillance. And now we also know as well that a specialist expert board is being created that's going to look into Islamophobia in Germany as well. But of course there's a much wider, broader issue to be dealt with here as well, and that really is linked to everyday racism here in Germany, and specifically identity. Of course, I remember just a couple of weeks ago being in Hanau myself after the attack, and many people there, particularly those of Turkish and Kurdish descent, were raising the issue with me that they still feel like they're largely treated by outsiders here in Germany, despite the fact that, of course, they are Germans themselves. And so this idea of identity and what it means to be German is something that Germany has been grappling with for decades now. And of course, for that issue to be resolved, we really need to see a fundamental rethinking here in Germany, both from policymakers, but also from society as well.
All right, thank you so much, Kate, for those updates. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The chairperson of Tanzania Circus for Women Entrepreneurs, Anna Matinde, has said more than 60 entrepreneurs from Tanzania will participate in the trade exhibition to be held in Komoro in April this year, where they will be able to promote and sell their products.
Kitu kizuri ni kwamba tumepata bahati kama tutaandamana na waziri wetu wa mambo ya nje.
The good thing is that we received support from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Palamagamba Kabudi. The exhibitions will be officiated by the President of Komoro, who will be the guest of honor.
Zalia Asomani
haikuwa katika mfumo sahihi. Kwa hiyo wakati mwingine tulikuwa tunapata changamoto ya usafiri.
Before, the procedure was not systematic enough, among other challenges, including transport and language barrier. But through TASWE, I managed to travel.
It's a very big opportunity, ni fursa kubwa kwa sisi wa Tanzania.
It is a very big opportunity for Tanzanian entrepreneurs because their economy is different from us, and they are in demand of products that are also produced in Tanzania. Tanzania Institution of Engineers has called on its members to adhere to professionalism when implementing big development projects which are being funded by taxpayers' money in order to speed up economic development in the country.
Kama viongozi wetu wanavyosema, hatuwezi kupata maendeleo.
Global economy and developments also relies on engineers, where we believe that proper utilization of this sector will contribute in strengthening developments in our country.
Maendeleo endelevu ni yale ambayo baada ya maendeleo kufanyika.
The first step is to maintain sustainable developments for the future generation. Through this process, it will allow increase in conservation activities.
Ambao wataendelea kutumia kwa ajili ya maendeleo.
And entrepreneurs in the country have been urged to use quality packaging in order to add value to their products. The call was made by various stakeholders attending a Women's Week exhibition in Simiyu region.
Hamasisha sana watu bidhaa zote zifungwe kwa ubora.
People are encouraged to put more efforts in packaging, something that is not stressful anymore, since there are factories in the country that produce good quality packages.
Mnyanyua mjasiriamali,
bidhaa nyingi ambazo zinaenda kwa mlaji kwa eneo la chakula.
Tanzanian entrepreneurs have increased creativity, especially on food products and advancement of traditional tools that were used by our forefathers. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Position, Marquinhos, he did lose some length.
Welcome back, and in sports news. 3 Tanzanian swimmers will be heading to Durban, South Africa for the African Championship being held as qualifiers for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Kwa sasa hivi wachezaji wako kwenye ngazi ya maandalizi binafsi japo.
Currently, players are in individual training, with the only one in the country getting support from the association, which is trying to supervise in the preparation. We expect to send all 3 players to the African Championships that will take place in Durban, South Africa.
Mwezi wa 4 kwenye mashindano ya Afrika yatakayofanyika Durban, Afrika Kusini.
Tigo Tanzania has handed 13 million shillings to a resident of Mbagala in Dar es Salaam, Miller Said Kungwi, which he won in the Tigo Chemsha Bongo 2020 promotion.
Mshindi wetu Bwana Said Miller baadaye atapata nafasi ya kujielezea pia kidogo.
Our winner is Said Miller, and he will get a chance to speak. The Tigo Chemsha Bongo promotion started in October 2018, and it was parallel with our Fiesta theme. We had a promotion which was asking for customers to answer entertainment-related questions.
Kujibu maswali yanayohusiana na burudani, na kila wanapojibu yale maswali.
Inter's Coppa Italia semi-final second leg at Napoli has become the latest fixture to be postponed as a result of the coronavirus crisis engulfing Italian football. Here's more on the story.
Juventus' Coppa tie at Milan, which was originally due to take place tonight, has already been called off, and the fixture between Napoli and Inter, scheduled for Thursday at Stadio San Paolo, will now also not be taking place. Italian football is enduring chaos with its schedule due to the threat of the spread of coronavirus, of which there have been over 2,000 confirmed positive cases in the nation. Several Serie A fixtures have been postponed over the past 2 weekends, including the Derby d'Italia between Juve and Inter, which was due to take place last Sunday.
And Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed that Paul Pogba will be welcomed back into the first team training next week after making a full recovery from a serious ankle injury.
Pogba has not played for the Red Devils since coming on as a substitute during a 4-1 home victory over Newcastle on December 26th and underwent surgery on the niggling issue in January. The World Cup winner has only featured in 8 matches across all competitions this season, with his last start coming against Arsenal way back in September. Questions have been asked over the 26-year-old's future in recent weeks, as Real Madrid and Juventus continue to be linked with summer moves for a player who has less than 18 months left to run on his current contract at Old Trafford.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching, and good night.